Everybody, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing all of you a very simple way to make $100 a day with $100 right after the intro. Alright, y'all, before we begin, again, do not forget to annihilate the like button on your way in. And also, don't forget to subscribe if you are new to the channel, alright? So, let's get started. But before we begin, again, if you are new to the channel, what we do here is to trade stock options, alright? And in today's video, I'll be using Apple as my example to show you that specific way to do so, alright? Now, let's look at Apple really quick. On the Apple chart, there was a very simple, very basic chart pattern that you can find anywhere on Google, right? We're gonna zoom in right over here. And the pattern that I actually saw on that specific day as I was watching Apple throughout the day, just consolidating over here, that pattern is called a bullish pennant right over here. All right, as you can see, it was making lower highs along with higher lows and just consolidating and just getting tied up in this region, and then it finally broke out at exactly 10:33 right over here. This is the appropriate entry to get in, especially when you recognize this pattern. And if you have never seen this thing before, you can easily go on Google and type bullish pennant right over here, and you can see multiple examples of the bullish pennant. All right, it's very common in the stock market, and it's a very simple and easy way to make money in the stock market. And obviously, we can Apple looks similar to this one right over here. Again, lower highs as we move forward in time, along with higher lows as we move forward, and then the breakout happens. All right, so if you go back to Apple, that is exactly what happened. And in this moment, how do you make money? What do you buy? Well, you can easily go on the trade tab right here, especially if you want to trade with Think or Swim. You can click on the trade tab and you can select the contract that of your preference, depending on whether you want it to expire in that current week or the next week. I decided to buy the contracts that expired on that specific week. It was on the 19th. Right here it said 19th, and the contract was the 155 call right here, which was at the money at the time. All right, so if we go back to this chart, and if we go back on if we look at the history on Apple, I'm just gonna use this as an example. So this is when I started buying. Again, this was the 155 call that expired on 11/19, and I bought it at exactly 10:54 for about 30 calls of it at first. All right, for $66 each. It says 0.66, but in the world of options, this number right here, or these numbers right here, you multiply that by 100. So this is, it says $1.25, but in reality you will be spending $129 because you gotta buy the ask in order to get filled. All right, so I bought 30 calls at first, and then I added again with 20 calls, and then I bought more contracts again, same one, similar price, and that was a total of around $4,800. All right, and then what you do next is to monitor this thing. This is how clean patterns behave. It's very, very clean. It moves slowly and goes upward, right? And at a certain point, magical unicorn news hit the stock. There was some news about the Apple car again that came out, and then this giant candle appeared. All right, now this is where you can start taking some money off the table just to make sure that you lock in gains, because it's very, very important And as soon as this thing started spiking. That's what I did. I took some money off the table. As you can see right here, I started selling. I sold 35 calls at 11.26 for 3,500, which was right over here when it hit my first price target of 155.5. All right, and then as it kept going higher and higher, when it got to around like 156.5, I was really taking more and more off the table. So the next time I sold was over here. I sold 10 more contracts, right, for $1,400. And then I sold my last set of contracts right here. The remaining 25 calls that I had for 155. So the total profit for this trade was around 95%. If I held it just a little bit longer, or if I got filled at a better price, it would have been 100% or more. And as you can see, it actually went a little bit higher. It went all the way up to 157 before it started to consolidate over here. So my $4,800 investment that I put into these contracts turned into $8,800, a $4,000 gain in that time frame right over here. All right, so if you had $100 or $120 and you bought 2 contracts, you could have easily doubled your money in that move. I wanted to make 4 grand in that specific trade. That's why I decided to invest 4 to 5 grand in it. All right. If you wanted to invest like $10,000, you could also make 10,000. 20,000, you can get to 20,000 profit. Again, you see where I'm going with this. All right. It's what matters is the play itself. What matters is how clean the structure of that chart is and how well the stock is behaving. All right, now if you want another example of this thing right there, I'm gonna show you exactly something similar. All right, which actually happened on Apple the day before. If we zoom out and we go all the way back over here, there was another day trading opportunity on there. And this is an ascending triangle. As you can see, the ascending triangle is here, right over here. And then it broke out and it just kept running and running and running and running. Another opportunity to make 100% or more on your money. All right. So hopefully y'all understanding this thing. The last time I tried to make a video like this on how to make $500 a day, some people were complaining in the comments about how this is not for beginners. I personally, I think it's simple enough for me to make this a beginner video. So it's very simple. Again, I showed y'all one example, obviously the trade that I took. All right. And then I showed you the one that happened the day before, right? And now, here's a bigger one. Let me show you the bigger perspective. Here it is, right there. Another bullish pennant on the chart, right over here. All right, so this could have been a long swing trade as well as multiple day trades in between if that's what you wanted to do at that specific time. All right, you get what I'm going with this. So this is a very simple way to turn $100 into $200 or $1,000 into $2,000. All right. So yeah, if you have any questions at all, definitely drop them in the comment section of the video. All right. If you're not following social media, you can find me at Paul Guma and at Patternology Lab on Instagram and on Twitter. And also, if you want to get started with all of this, I left some very basic step-by-step directions in the description of all of my videos. All right, step 1 to step 3. You can click on the description and look at more, and you will see all of them right there. If you want to be part of a private Discord community, you can find that as the very first link in the description of the video below. And yeah, in regards to trading, again, as I said before, focus more on how clean the chart is, all right? And then the money follows. Focus on the execution of the trade, and then you will get paid the most out of that trade. Making money in these sequence right there, yeah, it's easy, but when you focus more on the quality of the trade, you tend to get paid a lot more. You want to get out when at least right before it's about to pull back. That way you make the most out of that move, right? And also another piece of not financial advice that I want to give to all of the beginners out there is try not to over trade. All right, as you can see, like it was buy as y'all saw in the trade history, right? And then I waited for the stock to make that move, and then I sold, right? It wasn't sell, buy, sell. It wasn't that. And a lot of you are probably trading with small accounts, and you don't want to waste those valuable day trades on just that one move. You want to get in once, all right, and trade the trade the way it's supposed to be done. And then when you watch the stock go to where it's supposed to go, because this pattern right there performs in a very similar fashion each and every single time, and then you use that one day trade to get out, all right, instead of trying to scalp. We don't scalp here. We do not scalp, and even in the Discord, we do not ever scalp. We day trade. Okay, so yeah, that is pretty much it for this video. And yeah, lastly, my name is Paul Nguma for Patternology Lab, where we trade patterns only. And I will see all of you in the next video, right? Enjoy the outro.